Hey guys, it's your girl Kimberella and what is good? So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about Tyra Banks and her problematic show called America's Next Top Model. So before we get started to this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also like and share this video with your friends. That'll help me a lot. Okay, so let's talk about Tyra Banks. So if you guys don't know who Tyra Banks is, so Tyra Banks is a popular model starting from the 90s all the way towards the late 2000s. Around the 2000s, she also launched two shows. So one called the Tyra Banks shows, and the second show also called America's Next Top Model. If you also don't know what America's Next Top Model is about, so basically it's about a group of girls that aspire to be models, come and compete against one another in order to win the crown of America's Next Top Model. So they receive a cash prize and possibly a modeling contract with a modeling agency, and they get to fly to Paris and who knows what and start modeling. Okay, so we got that out of the way. So basically this hasn't really been a shocking topic or really a shocking discussion, because this thing about Tyra Banks being a mean girl has been actually going around YouTube for the past year. So I've seen a lot of YouTubers have covered Tyra Banks and her problematic show recently, as like last year. So there has been a lot of drama around that show and how it was really demeaning, or it was really negative towards all the young models. A few of the scandals that have been spoken out about are blackface. One of the models named Yaya DaCosta being called too African to be a model in terms of her appearance. A girl literally crying, being humiliated on television about her hair getting cut off, and she was crying because she didn't want to take off her hair, and also kissing a racist white model. One of the models named Gina recently came out with her video on YouTube explaining her traumatizing experience on the show. Basically, Tyra Banks just looking down on her because she did a cover shoot for Playboy before getting on the show, and she just looked at her in disgust and said that, oh, that's degrading, that's nasty. It never got aired on the show, but that's what she was explaining. I'll leave the link down below. So basically, yeah, so just a lot of scandals that have been happening around that show. And so recently there has been a video that came out online basically about Tyra Banks kind of making fun of, not really making fun of, but really commenting on one of the models' teeth. Like, she has a gap in her teeth, and she advised her to, fill in that gap. She refused. She came back saying that she didn't, and Tyra really pushed her, peer pressured her basically to go get it fixed. Now that has resurfaced, and a lot of people are just calling Tyra Banks a mean girl and just saying that, she's problematic, she should be canceled, no one should support her anymore. So I just want to give my analysis on the whole situation. So I grew up watching America's Next Top Model. I was a child. I believe I was 7 or 8 when I first started watching it. And yeah, I just been watching her for a long time when I was a child. And I know, if you're 7, you don't really catch anything problematic. You just think, oh, this is really nice, great. And yeah, I just really enjoyed Tyra Banks and just the way she was trying to help, aspiring models to be in the fashion industry. So I thought that was really cool, but did not know all this was going on. I didn't really watch the show consistently when I was younger, so I was just always in and out. But recently, a lot of models been having talking about their experiences, mainly negative experiences. I feel like the only model that hasn't really had a bad experience, who actually vocalized her experience on the show, was really Eve, the model to win the first season. All this drama was back in the early 2000s, and back then there was no such thing as cancel culture. No one was woke. It wasn't trendy to be woke and outspoken. Anything that was negative is kind of swept under the rug. You don't really say anything. You try to be positive no matter what, or you just ignore the situation. Anything that's negative anything that was negative and anything that, and anyone who was willing to speak out about negativity wasn't really deemed as, you know, someone to really push into the spotlight and didn't really have a lot of fame. But what I'm trying to say is basically, yeah, the things that we have now in terms of cancel culture and being woke and being, you know, it's popular, trending to be woke and speak your mind. None of that was really a thing back in the early 2000s, especially with internet. There was internet back in the early 2000s, but it wasn't as grand or big as it is now. So maybe back then it was like that kind of behavior was tolerated because people were basically afraid to speak out or speak their mind, because if they did, they will basically be blacklisted from the industry. But now no one really gives fill in the rest, because I can't swear on this channel. We have so many outlets. Like, you just don't need TV to be famous anymore. You can have your own platform just from the comforts of your own room. Just by having your phone, you have a platform where you can express and you can do whatever you want. But back then, all you had was TV. And if you spoke anything negative, especially towards an A-list celebrity like Tyra was back in the day, you're like canceled. Like, you can't make money. You can't get anywhere in that industry. But now people have this freedom to really speak their mind online. Now they're using that to their advantage to really speak their truth and what truly happened, because back then it wasn't really the most popular thing to do, and the internet back then didn't really create that space to really speak your mind, and it wasn't also popular to speak your mind as well. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is just like, I don't feel like this is a coincidence. I feel like this is karma for Tyra. One of the white panelists on the show called Yaya Style too African, too Afrocentric to be in high fashion. I was like, what do you mean by that? Like, that's very stupid. That was just like, I was like, girl, like, what are you talking about? What are you trying to say, huh? African, like, having those Afrocentric features is not pretty enough. Like, to have like the wild hair that I have right now, to have the big nose and the big lips and the dark skin, like, what are you trying to say? Like, that's not pretty, that's not that's not the standard of beauty. But mind you, back then we only had one representation of what a model looks like, compared to now we have a lot of variations. You know, we have the Winnie Harlows, we have the model with the gap tooth, I forgot her name, but her picture will be here somewhere. So we have a lot of variations. I'll put a lot of people up here if I have to. But back then we only mainly had white women, especially white women who were blonde. So I don't know what people did to really address the situations that have been going on, because some of these things that the models are talking about actually aired on TV, and I'm pretty sure some people had, you know, a problem with it. So I don't know what they tried to do back then to really address the situation. Who knows, maybe they would have said it on MySpace or Facebook, or probably signed a petition. But, you know, this should have been addressed a long time ago. And it's sad that it took 15 to 16 years for it to resurface and start talking about it again. You know what I'm trying to say? It just seems like no one did anything to try to tell Tyra, hey, this is not okay. You're kind of disrespecting a group of people. Hey, you're kind of disrespecting her. You're not making her feel comfortable through this experience. It should have just stopped after that episode of Blackface. It should have been canceled from there, because I don't know how the show lasted for like, over 20 cycles. That is crazy and that's ridiculous, especially a lot of women that have come forward and talked about their bad experience. Like, you know, it just interesting. And also Winnie Harlow last year, she also addressed how, you know, the show wasn't really made for the girls that aspire to be models to really learn the modeling industry. It was just basically another reality show. But we knew that it was heavily produced. It was just made so, you know, Tyra can get ratings and she can make money. But you know, it's really sad that the girls really looked up to her and actually really want to learn about the modeling industry and how to become a great model. But it was just sad that they felt like it was another reality show and it was just another way to get ratings. So that was like that's just very unfortunate, you know? And Tyra did come forward and address Winnie Harlow's comments. Basically, don't quote me, you know, verbatim, but basically just saying like, oh, but I put you on. The platform gave her the platform to be who she is, you know? She wouldn't be Winnie Harlow if she wasn't on that show to begin with. That's it for this video. I hope you guys like it. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, and also please like and share this video once again. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.